Hi, good evening, guys. Hi, Vivek. Good evening. Hi, Jeremy. Yeah, I had a good weekend. I hope you too had a good weekend. So let more people join in. We have about 5. Hi, Manjunath. Hi, Devinder. Good evening. So, guys, we had Pan W results. We would like on Friday evening, Friday afternoon. We talked about Pan W and we talked about the possibility of it going up, and then we traded. So hopefully tomorrow, if it stays like this, then our butterfly should pay some real good gains. But again, we need to see what happens tomorrow. Hi Satya, hi Ray, good evening. So I'll start from my basic scans first. Inside day, we have UNH, Walmart, Humana, Target. Wow. Do I have UNH? Humana, Target? No. UNH, Humana, Target, Walmart. All inside days. Let me see if I can get anything from bullish candle patterns. None. I don't know like why it's not taking hammer's actual thing, but save, it doesn't matter. Hi Kulwant, hi Tarish, hi Kamal, Sat Shri Akal, good evening. So I don't have much on the scans. Last one is 12:34. I'll do it on 1 day. No, let's see, 34 crossing 12 on the day. Wow. So Baba turned negative, SPY turned negative, FSLR turned negative. FSLR is SPY I don't do, but I'm going to mention it here. All right. So I am. Hi, Mr. Segal. Good evening. Guys, I hope you all had a great weekend. It's a start for a pretty new sentiment into the market from tomorrow because we have seen some really good selling. Now, this is our ES. Now, I always say whenever we are in a trend, this is the trend, we are going down. Whenever we have a doji, that indicates a change of direction. Okay, not the change of sentiment, the change of direction. Because we have how many days of down move? If we start from this candle, 1, 2, 3, 4, ignoring this, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This may be like 12. Out of 14 candles, 11 were red, 2 were green, and 1 was dodgy. It means that if it had to go one more time red, it could have. But as of now, it did not. And it's making a dodgy. Dodgy at the bottom. And this is I posted on the channel, Telegram as well as Twitter on Friday that this is a possible morning star setup. Now for this, what I need is I need to cross 43.95. If we can cross 43.95, I expect a back test of 12 EMA, maybe 34 EMA at most. If we do that, then this back testing will be complete. The trend is negative and we can continue to go down. So I think we'll have a bounce towards these two. Now, in case we are not able to break above 43.80 and 43.80 acts as a resistance, then we are going down. We will test Friday's low. And that will be really, really bad because it opens up a very big move on the downside, which is the gap here. There is a gap at 43.25 area. Now it came on top of the gap and then bounced. This is called island because we are holding it. I assume that this island will break at one time and we will pierce it through, will fill the gap at 43.25 and we come to 42.60 area. That's my take. But before that, we will go back and do a back testing of 12 and 34, at least 12 EMA, because even if like on the positive side, even if you're far away, we do come back and test. So we are far away from the candles. So possibly we'll go test them and come back. So keep an eye on this. The sentiment is still negative, and I am just telling you again, don't panic. But if we go back and back test this and come down again, that will be a massive head and shoulders, and this will go down really badly. This will happen by the end of or middle of September, I think. And these candles, because as I said, I was anticipating big downside in the starting of September to the October. But if this happens, this can really, really take things into a different level of downside. All the lows which we were talking, they may start to picture from here if we lose this long-term trend line at 43.25 in September. Red bars means a lot. I did not get your question, Kulwant. Hi, Mani. Hi, Mani. Hi, Manmeet. Hi, Nilesh Bhai. Hi, Sonu. So all in all, I expect a bounce. Let's take that as bounce. It should come back, test it, and come down. Most likely that should happen. Again, NVIDIA's earning will drive, and the Jackson Hole meeting on the week, like forthcoming week into the Friday, that will. It's not an anticipation of inverted head and shoulders. It is head and shoulders. So for now, I'm going to buy a positive move on ES because it's a potential morning star on daily candle. And back test of 12/34 is due. Now, stop loss 43.82 is your stop loss. 43.95 is your trigger. 43.85 is your stop loss. Buy above 43.95. Make sure you only buy above 43.95 on ES. If you do that, you will have much more conviction. Possibility is 50-50 for now because it's potential. Once it converts and goes above 43.95, the conviction goes higher. But as of now, it is hanging in between. It's neither crossing 43.95, neither going below 43.82. So it's in between. First target will be the price section where we have this one. which is 44.25. And then 44.58, which is our Fibonacci level. That's near to the 12 EM. So I'll take that. If we cross that, then 44.73. So I'm going to put 73 as well. So this is if we stay above 43.95. Now, if we go below 43.85 on the downside, if we lose, I'm just going to make the candle a little bigger. If we lose the doji is 43.80. If we lose the 43.80 mark, we should keep, I would say 43.85, 43. I'll say, let's say 43.90-ish on the stop loss just to give some leverage. Sell below 43.80. If we lose this, then it will only go down and will test the Friday's lows, which is 43.50. 43.50 and then 43.25 to fill the gap. So it will be failed morning star and going to fill the gap. So this is about ES. Now let's look at the bookmap for once. Come on. Like for last is, I don't know what happens, happened to my bookmap. It has started to go really, really slow. Yes. I'm just bringing the timestamps. You can see that there is a support at 43.80 area and resistance at 43.95-97 area. Once you cross it, you will find support resistance at 44.25-ish area. So 43.50, 44.25, that's the main area. In between, this is our target, and we'll start to trade upside here. This is our target where we start to trade for the lower side. And that's what came out from the Fibonacci and the price action levels. So the order flow levels, which are right here, they are in sync with our judgment. So that's a big plus. And when two things tell the same thing, then we are fine, we are right. So that's about ES level. So potential move is there on both sides. Do not trade between 43.80 to 43.95. Do not try to be a smart person and then end up losing on both sides. Wait for your potential trade. Once your setup is there, go for it, but do not rush. Wait for your setup. Let's go to NQ. Like 14,600 was my stop loss on level on NQ. Exactly same thing is happening on NQ. Doji at the bottom. There was a doji right at the top, and then we saw good downside. Doji at the top, we saw a good downside. Now doji, if happens like for a small move, it may not work out. But here the downside move was big, so the doji should be fruitful. Like right here, there was a doji, which eventually broke down, but not in that day. It took a couple of days, and then it was covered in a single day. So you need to also see that dojis are there, but if dojis are there after a big move, like we saw in ES and similarly on NQ, then their potential value increases substantially. Now we need to see, did I remove anything? No. So from 10,000, we almost went to 16,000. That's about 5,500 points, 50% on NQ from December. And now we have retraced approximately 1,400 points. Nothing big, but 1400 points. But for now, the same logic, the doji is there. Till the moment the doji is holding, we are good. If doji break down, we go down. Same thing. If we want to make a morning star, we need to cross the top of this doji candle, or I would say 14,800. If we do that, then we should test 1570 and 140 or 200 area. That's something which should be testing. The gap on NQ is filled, so there's nothing to worry on that. So NQ, if you want to try positive, buy above 14,800. Because that's the top of this doji. 802, so 800 is fine. And the stop loss is 14,740. Targets are 15, because we are very far away from these. 15,000. 15,070. In between this 950 area as well. 15,935. 14,935. That's an area. Same thing, 50. I'll give like 60-40 on NQ. Same thing. And in case of failure, a failed morning star. There's no gap here. Now, if we lose 14,740, which is the doji right here, then we should be aiming for Friday's low, which is 14,600. I think that's really, really important area, 14,600. And then 14,500. These are potential areas for NQ. But I'm a little positive on NQ because I think there's substantial selling which has happened. So for a reversal, for a bounce, there's a possibility that NQ may take a lead. And then for a day or two, it tries to show some strength. And then from there on, like NVIDIA's number, we'll see what happens from that point afterwards. So let's go to triple Q. Triple Q found the support and then managed to hold above 357. And if we can cross 358, it should be good. So 357.35, which was my previous level here, should be a stop loss. Buy above 358. The high was 359. So 359.50. If we can cross 359.50, let's go for it. Target should be this one, 362.50. And then 367.50. Yes. 60-40 for both of them. On the short side, if we lose that 357 area again, then we'll go short. Like you see, the NQ levels and the triple Q levels, they usually are in sync. And the levels, this one is 353. Again, I'm expecting this to make a head and shoulders in the future. So this back test will be really, really amazing. Opportunity to buy puts. 352 and then 350. it's again like it depends your time horizon, that what time horizon you're looking at. If you're looking at only half an hour, 20 minutes, 1 hour, then you may have a different view. But if you're looking for some positional setup, then wait for the right opportunity. Let's see if it comes to 12 and 34 EMAs, that's the area to buy puts and hold. Because if we fail here, we're going to fail really big. And that's what I'm anticipating. We are going to fail really massive. I don't know what's coming, but something is definitely setting up for a big, I'll say, crash. We will see a circuit down pretty soon. Again, I don't want to create panic, but last time I mentioned this, it was November of 2021 or 2020, when I mentioned about ECB and then Fed, and then market just gave up everything in 2022. So same thing I'm anticipating. We are on the verge. So let's see if we can handle this month, specifically like going into September. If we can consolidate here, do not fall, that thing will diminish. But right now, the possibility of that risk downside is really, really high. Maybe I'll explain that in another conversation when we'll have people to. Devinder, I just explained, we need to sell at around 15,140. Okay, let's go for Apple now. So Apple, I was short in Apple and I said we should fill these gaps. We fill those gaps and now we are back above 173. Now, the important aspect is we are above 23.6 Fibonacci level and we are well away from same principle, 12 and 34. So we'll try to do a back test and let's see. The trend is negative. Come on. That trend is negative because the 12 EMA is lagging the 34 EMA. So the trend for me is negative, but right now I'm trying to back test it. So this was a good support. We should do a back test of 177. So I'm aiming for 177 on Apple. So Apple, if it gives me, again, I'm neutral, 173.50 is my stop loss. I'm looking to buy near 174, 174.50 area. If it comes into that region, opens around that region, that's fine. I'm looking at 177.30. That was the previous test. And then I'm looking at 179.50 or 180.35. So this area is gap filled. And now back tested. Now waiting for back test. And back test will define whether we will continue or will fail. Adobe. Adobe on Friday, it like tried to reclaim 509, which is a 38.2 Fibonacci area. And it's did not cross above it. Maybe on Monday, if it fills the gap, this is a minute gap which is created on Friday in Adobe. The trend is still up on Adobe because 12 and 34 EMS are in the positive direction. Nilesh, I will discuss this after this analysis. I'll keep 10-15 minutes. We'll talk about this. So there's a big possibility we may fill the gap. And then if market is positive, we try to do a 516, 521-ish area. And Adobe has the capability to run $10, $12 on a day. So Adobe, I am like The level, that's fine. But I'm giving it a positive trade. I'm just holding that. AMD. AMD broke down. This was a bull flag, which I was anticipating. But what happened? It came and it almost tested. This was the last time it came here and tested this. Today it came near and then bounced. Now it needs to go back and again do a back test of this significant area, 111.30. I think into the NVIDIA earnings, AMD is the better play. AMD or SMCI, you can trade long and look out for 111 on AMD. I think AMD previous resistance of 106 should be a significant showstopper for AMD, but let's see if it can break out or not from there. My stop loss is 105 now on AMD. AMD is really, really volatile. Buy above 107. I would say the stop loss was 104.75. And Apple regained 23.6% Fibonacci. Yes. So AMD buy near 105, 106. Maybe it will open above 106.7. But if it opens, I'll say buy into 106, 107. That should be the good area. If it does, if it can cross 111 this time, it will hit 118. It's really, really set up for AMD. Amazon broke down. It went below 134 and now it has almost filled the gap of the earnings. The high was 129.30. It came almost to 131. There's a $1.50 gap still, but till the moment it's holding this area, I would like to see a sell on Amazon. My problem is it's right there on this red line where it has struggled a lot. So whether it is going to show some strength or not, I don't know. But if you have to try long above 134.50, 60. So let's take a take. Buy above 134.60. And honestly, when I mention these levels that buy above, make sure you buy above. Do not try to buy these things because I have tried them. I have failed. I have lost enough. Better to let it go here, hold it, and then go from there. It will have much better possibility. Like right now, this path, it has a resistance here, and a resistance here. Now, if it can clear that resistance, it means it's good. But if it fails, it can come down and we will not know until we come around this area. So I like, in simplify, find the path with least resistance. This is the path with least resistance, only one. 135.60 and then 137.60. 135.60, 138. Look for path of low resistance above 134.60. BA from 230 almost hit 226, 221-ish area. And now look at the important thing. BA came and exactly made the low of the previous candle. after the earnings, which shows its strength. It did a job it was supposed to do. Now, if it holds this gap, this is going to see a massive upside from here. So for me, BA is a plus. 226 is my area. I'm looking at 231 and I'm looking at 235. So short on BA is complete. Now making it neutral. Now manage to hold on to the gap. Reclaimed 34 EMA. These are the positive points. Stop loss is our 34 EMA, 226. So for every trade first, you need to define your stop loss, 226. Where should we buy? We should buy this above Friday's high. Let's buy about 227. Targets is 231, which is 12 EMA, and then 237.30. FedEx I'm eliminating. I'll pick up any of the tickers from here. Google, same thing. Google failed and then did a back test on 34 EMA. Now, if Google, you want to try, because same thing, Google is showing some weakness, but it is still there to fill the gap. Now, question is, should we sell this on rise? I would say yes. So for Google, I'll go short for now. Like if market sentiment is positive, Google may or may not. Let's take a chance. I'll just keep it neutral. Stop loss is my 126.60. It's maybe the one of the weakest. Like it tested 34 EMA and bounced. So if it can cross 127.50, again, this is my least preferred choice, Google. 129.12, 15, and then 131.50. This is my least preferred choice, Google. Meta, like I've been saying Meta short from 320, it came to 275. And again, I'll show you why it did that. It lost the 34 EMA. And since it lost, it came back exactly to the same place where it was finding resistance. There were three tops here. 1, 2, 3. It went down, tested it, and then came here, tested the exact same spot, 274-ish, 25, and then bounced. So price tells you almost everything all the time. No need to use any fancy indicators. There are multiple gaps which may come. That's why like I'm not really high on Google and Meta for now, but we have seen some away candles from Google and Meta both. So there's a possibility we might see some level of bounce. But if you want to try and sell it towards 299, that's another trade. But for now, 288, 287, this area, which was the breakout, should act as a resistance. So I'm going to sell it here. So if market has bounce, Meta, I will sell with 291 stop loss, sell and rise between 287 to 289, and I would like to sell them. It will definitely do a back test of 288, 289 area. We'll sell it around that area, and then we'll look out for 278, 271. 1234 are converging into negative. Microsoft was another gap fill of 316. It filled that gap. The gaps are still there, similar to what you call Meta. See, in some cases, the trade is pretty evident. In some cases, you see it has lost. First of all, the trend is negative. The 34 is down, 12 is right here. Second thing, we are below the long-term trend line. So what it will do is it will try to go towards the 12 EMA, do a back test. If it will bounce, it will bounce. Otherwise, it will continue to go down from here. I anticipate a back test. So I anticipate it to test 319, 320 area, which was a good support in the past, and then 323. So 320, 324-ish area, it will find the support. 316 is my stop loss, because that was the gap from the previous time, right here. 316.50. The 316.50 is the gap. If market has to bounce, Microsoft need to bounce, and we should buy around that area. Buy near 316 or 317. Sell below 315. If it doesn't hold, sell below 315 for, I would say, 310 and 302. Again, because market can move in both directions. So if it loses 315, go for 310. Google, I would also say sell below 126.60, because Google is my least favorite choice. Netflix out of all has created a little bit of confusion for me. Like, this was a clear head and shoulders for Netflix. It broke down, but it bounced right from this line. It should not bounce, but it did. No, I don't know what's going to happen on Netflix. So Netflix, the problem is, I would like to sell Netflix. Again, like, it might go and try and test the 12 EMA again, but let's take a chance if we have to. I'll take a chance about 406.50. 406.50 is this level, the high of Friday. I might try it 411, and then maybe this area where it has founding is about 415. I don't think so. In between, the 12 EMA will come into this area. So 415, 411, 410, 80, 415, and 12 EMA is at 421. Its head and shoulders is right there. Stop loss is 404. 404. Nvidia is right back in that 435-ish area where it is coiling really hard. See, 435, 12, and 34, it went down, but it managed to come back into that 1234. So this is really, really tight. Now, if you want to try long above 436.60. And I'm hoping it will open well above this. 436.60 is 420 was Friday. Yeah, 420, it bounced. So these levels are fine for NVIDIA. I've already shared a trade. Possibly Nilesh Bhai. I'm not in doubt, but it cancelled out Head and Shoulders for now. So let's see. Oracle has moved, so I'm not doing Oracle for now. Roku. Roku is holding well, and it was doing really, really well on Friday. In fact, DDOG, which I did on Friday, we can pick up DDOG in one of the lists. So Roku is doing really good. 78 is your 34 EMA. So Roku is, yeah, everything is good on Roku, the level wise. In fact, I'm going to give it positive. Snow exactly came to 142.20 where it was testing its like whole life before it exploded to 193. It made a complete M pattern right there. This means it is done selling. I am anticipating it to test 164 into the earnings. 142 is an area where it has tested like M pattern when makes or develops. It tests exactly the break where it started from. So it started from right here. If you want to try from here, it started right here, came back, ended. So this is finished. So when selling is finished, what can happen? It can only go higher from here. So it has earnings this week. So I am a buyer on Snow with a stop loss of 147. I will buy any dip on Snow until 142 is held. If 142 is gone, it's gone. But I'm really positive. So one stock which I'm going to mark this in blue is Snow. Again, it's into the earnings. We'll talk about on the earnings day. Tesla did exactly 213 area, which is like the 38.2% Fibonacci failure, and then bounced from 50, which is 213.50. Now, unless and until it reclaims this 219 area, like if it opens for 219, that's a wonderful thing. That will create a morning star. But there's a possibility that if we can open above Friday's high, which is 217.60, it will become a morning star. Not a morning dodgy star, morning star on daily if opens above 217.60. So buy above 217.60. It will only fail if it tests the close 215.50. And this is a back test of a very important area. It started this journey right from here. It came back and do a back test. So people who are getting crazy, oh, Tesla went up, it will go 400, 500, 5,000, 5 million. We are back at 200. I still think it's a junk company. People over do this company, but people don't like my comments on Tesla. But 226, 236 are possible on Tesla. 225, 75, 230 to 75 are possible. Now, in case it loses 213, then go short. 213.50, stop loss 215.50, 208, and 200. That is Tesla. Home Depot, I'm going to get rid, will fill the spaces. So first I'm going to fill DDOG. Because DDOG was really, really good on Friday for me. DDOG had an excellent earnings, and look what it is doing. It exactly tries to come back and fill the gap or test the back test at 12 EMA. Now, it will be interesting if it can go above 12 EMA. So I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to try and buy above 94.50. If it does, and Snow will push it, 9904 is my target. Positive on DDOG. My only condition is it should reclaim 94.50. Stop loss, we can keep today's low, 93.60 or close. Now I have two spots. I really want to do UNH or target. Let's see target. So target is trying its best. It's inside day. If it can cross 132.50, then it's on for target. Let me just remove everything and make the new levels on target right in front of you. You'll start from the regression channel from top, coming to the bottom, right here, extend to the right. Now, in this case, what we anticipate is this was a big rejection, last big rejection came to 124. Let's see on the retracement. Here I'm not doing the extension. Here I'm doing the retracements. I'm going to right click and properties. $124.96. And the high here was 162.84. I'll make every one of them. Two. Let's make it a bit. So now we have these levels on target. I think it's an double inside day. If we can break above 132, 132.15, so target is right there. PGT positive. It's a double inside day. I need to cross 132.50. Or if it comes to buy near, stop loss is 130.50. Buy near 131. 132.50. Because it doesn't move much. 133.90. That's my target. Last one is let's look at the FSLR. Like ENPH, FSLR, both are breaking down really badly. The trend has turned negative. And since the earnings, like where it went to 225, it has been sold out towards 180 area. Now this is actually making a M pattern for now. But again, there's a dodgy, so I'm ignoring it. I'm not covering it. Let's look at UNH. Oh, let me do one thing. Let me share the Zoom link so that we can talk about the market expectations. So let me just share again. If you will come on Zoom, you are interested to talk, only then join. Do not come if you want to be a mute spectator. There is a Zoom link. You can join in. The futures are holding. Baba is Chinese market is down. Market is still in between. Chinese market is recovering, almost 130 point recovered from the bottom. I think Chinese market is way too oversold. There's a possibility that we might see some push on the higher side. Let's see. In between, I'm trying to do UNH. So UNH, we talked about it. It might come down to 490 area and fill the gap. It did not. It's still holding that. I really wanted to fill this gap. So again, it's a no setup for me. So any ticker, any one ticker if you want. Guys, I've shared the Zoom link and nobody has joined yet. So it's up to you guys. I'll wait for a minute or two. Let me check on forensics, which is a black box. Anything published on view IoT? I don't know. These were, I don't know what is SVXY. Yes, Nilesh bhai, you can speak.
Hey, Navaldeep, good evening. So you were looking at UNH. So UNH, kind of my thought process is as long as it stays below 500, then I could see it going up to 480.
That's I wanted to go down, but it came back and did an inside day.
Yeah.
It breaks down between how much? Above 500 or below 492?
Yeah, I'm actually expecting it to go down. I actually want it to go down. So
let's make it go down then. Let's mark this as short. Sell below 491.80. Stop loss is 493.30. Hubert, 1 second, man. The gap is 487.50. And then right here, the top is 484.60. Inside day down. Yes. Yes, Hubert. Go ahead.
Hi, Nava.
Hi.
I remember you saying if you took like a long or a short and the contract has lost like its value, there's a way you can convert that to a spread to kind of minimize that loss and gain some sort of percentage back. I don't know if I'm remembering that correctly.
Yes, you can do that.
Can you teach us how to do that?
I'll do that maybe not today. I'll send an example.
Okay.
But I'll post it. Don't worry.
Okay. Thank you, Naval. That's all.
Okay. Yes, Nileshwar.
And Neville, I'm just wondering, will you be able to kind of talk a little bit about what China Central Bank did with the 1 year and the 5-year rate today?
I'm trying to evaluate that. It means that they think they are going to bring back the economy back into strength. And
But wouldn't that mean that the 5-year they would have to change that as well? Because isn't that tied to the housing market?
no, they're looking at the short-term solution that on a short term they have reduced the rates by 1%. For 5-year bonds, they are still holding that thing. So
Okay.
again, Chinese market, there are many things which are unknown. So I think for now they should stabilize. If I look at BABA, for example, on my chart, BABA is right there at 87. And this exactly is doing what BA did. Made exactly the same low point. Left the gap open. And if you see, it's exactly doing the same channel. It's a rough channel, but it's doing the channel. If I cancel this and create a channel from right here, you will see that it's right there at the bottom of this channel.
Okay.
It should bounce.
Do you think the market is gonna react one way or another tomorrow about in regards to this, or they'll
The
just
problem with BABA is, or Chinese stock is, that you don't know when they will, all of a sudden they'll be moving, and then by the time you enter, they'll start to drop. And
Oh.
they'll not stop. The moment you exit, they'll start to move again. That's what is the problem with BABA. So if you want to keep 87, 88 as your stop loss, it's not a bad area.
Okay.
All right then. I don't see anybody else. So thank you for joining in. We'll talk about that market thingy maybe in the group itself, because people on the YouTube are not interested. So we'll keep it to ourselves.
Sounds
All
good.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Good night.
Good night, guys.